at home in my studio in Durham, North Carolina.
Durham, North Carolina. And what's the weather like there today?
It is about, it's better. Today it's 34 degrees. Yesterday it was 22.
Oh, shoot.
I
Oh,
know.
so glad to be in Mexico.
I agree.
I've had my experience in winter and I'm done.
I know. I
It's
hate
very
it.
romantic for like a short period of time, super romantic. But then after that, it's like, no, it's over with.
I'm
I
not
need to
good
break
with
up.
cold.
No, I imagine. So I'm super excited that we're going to get the opportunity to present you in Clavo Movimiento here and also
Oh, me
here in the
too.
gallery as well for Art Week Mexico City, which is coming up way quickly.
Everything happens very quickly.
It does. It never, and no matter how much time you plan in advance for things, it never works out that way, especially here in Mexico. So
Yeah, I'm
I'm
very excited about that. And thank you.
So we're going to be presenting your Guadalupe, the Aura Guadalupes, and the Olmec series that you created in the artist residency, the incubator
Yes.
program that last year. I would love if you could give us a little bit more information behind your motivations with the artwork and your relationship to Mexico itself as well.
Well, as you know, I was born in Los Angeles, kind of born and raised in Los Angeles. So, and we traveled extensively in Mexico when I was a little kid. My parents had, my father and some of his friends had a house in Ensenada. So we did a lot of trips to Baja, and that was early childhood. So this was in the 50s. I had my introduction to Our Lady of Guadalupe, and I always really
Wow.
loved, I loved the imagery of it. And for a long time, I was collecting all the little knickknacks
Right.
the tacky little knickknacks that you see, uh, and the candles. They were my favorite candles. But what kind of drove me towards this, I like just the design aspect of most of the paintings of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and it's got certain shapes and intensities. The auras always
Right.
kind of fascinated me, and the thing that got me was learning Catholicism's history of
Mm-hmm.
colonialism, uh, beginning with, I think it was the fifth pope, and this was way back there, um, telling missionaries that adapt our religion to their beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
not don't convert them to, just Catholicism. And that's why the female deities came up, because most of the societies then either were matriarchs or had a lot of female, even the Romans and the Greeks all had female deities. So they had to adapt Mary to being this deity for the
Acceptable.
Catholic
Yeah.
Church. Yes. And the rest is kind of history. I mean, women saints, Our Lady of Guadalupe um, took 400 years to actually
Mm-hmm.
be completely certified by the Catholic Church. And without that, they would have lost Mexico. Um, Mexico is quite animate about no. And it's kind of a
Right.
replacement for Mary, even though it was an Aztec that had the vision that saw Our Lady of Guadalupe. Um, but they colonized the culture and turned it into a saint for the church. And I simplified the whole aspect of the design and kind of borrowed from the Oaxacan wood carvings. They use a lot of pointillism, a lot of dots in their work. So that was something I wanted to start out, and I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. And thus, during the residency, that just kicked into high gear because I had a couple of studies that I'd done the year before, but they were very small.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is the perfect um, opportunity to explore this further, and which I did, and it's keeps expanding out. In fact, right now I'm working on a triptych that's quite large, to get that Catholicism altar in again. And
Purge all that Catholicism from your soul.
well, I was
Well,
raised
and
Mormon, so
I know, but the pointillism that you're using as well is really interesting because I think I remember the first time that I physically experienced the auras of Guadalupe in person because we were navigating everything in Zoom for a while
right.
before I got to see them in person. And the aspect of them that had not really communicated was the layering of the colors. It was very difficult to communicate in a digital form like this.
Yes.
So when I saw it, I was struck like just by how gorgeous the layering is. And you mentioned the reference to Oaxacan culture and the dot
Mm-hmm.
formation. Um, Talk a little bit more about that aspect of the work.
But that was the basis for um, how the paint was applied, which is very pointillist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as delicate as the Oaxacan women that do the painting. I've seen them in Oaxaca
Right,
painting with a single hair doing the dots.
right.
That's I don't have time for that. But um, and the inspiration for the colors comes from a lot of the classic paintings of Our Lady of Guadalupe, because there's those rich great blues and those deep oranges and reds. So I kind of tried to build that into it.
Sure.
And kind of as pointed out in the residency, when you saw both the older the little studies that were a little more vaginal looking. Um,
Which is interesting because my first impression when I saw them in person was they were a
the
little bit
new
more
ones,
phallic
yeah,
looking in the new one. So
the new ones are very phallic, and that was kind of a magical, not a mistake, but just something that developed as they were forming. Because I had really no idea. I tried to do it very mathematically and just build it
mhm.
out. Um, and then all of a sudden, there it was staring me in the face, and I go, "That's a penis," which matched, which matched perfectly with the whole story of the
Patriarchy of
Catholic
religion.
Church. Yeah, the patriarch. So I was going,
Well,
okay,
we used it as our primary image for the advertisements for our
yes, yes.
summer queer show because I like the ideal that it is the aura of Guadalupe, but you could have these different sort of gender conceptions of it because the vagina aspect of it from your smaller ones still appear there if you wanted to see that, if you wanted to see a penis, and if you're the owner of the building where the gallery is hosted and you're offended by anything at all, you just see Guadalupe. So,
Yes,
so,
yes, yes.
so I printed it 6 foot tall and put it in the front of the gallery because I knew that people would carry that personal significance to it that I know is really more your intent
Mhm.
than one specific perspective of it. So,
And also, I was thinking this is just a irreverent private conversation or joke I had in my head was they were discussing when what do we do with this saint? What do we do with the saint? And I go,
right.
oh, we'll make her look like a dick.
Because clearly the world
Yeah.
needs more.
Yes.
So, and then in the third painting that we have is from your Olmec series,
Yes.
which is super bright, colorful, has like an intensity of pigment and sort of reflective quality to it that's almost like a if you I don't have a pair of 3D glasses, but I swear to God, if I put on 3D glasses, something's gonna pop out.
Ooh, that would
Like
be nice to
I need to
try.
find
Yeah.
a pair just to see because I've worked with that color scheme before many years ago when I did my cráneos, the big cráneos and for Dia de los Muertos, and um, I use very similar colors because they're very relevant within the culture, and I experience them all the time. So a friend came over with some 3D glasses, and we were like, "Whoa!" So I know just got to find those 3D glasses, Michael. I mean,
We'll have to try it. Yeah, we'll have to try
we'll
it. I
put
mean,
them
I'm
on a
sure
string right next to the to the P.
Amazon. I'll send
Right,
them
right.
down.
Because art experiences are so much a part of the culture now. Talk to me a little bit about your the theme of the Olmec within your work,
The
and
Olmec, that was a really fun painting, and I owe it all to the residency. Um, it was when I was in Mexico, right before the residency, I was in Mexico over Christmas the year before. And I don't know if you know the gallery Pinta Pinta Naraha or Tinto Naraha.
I
It's
think
in
it's
the
Tinta
Amsterdam
Naranja.
Circle,
Yeah, I think it's
and
Tinta Naranja.
they do really pop art. And they had some, not so much like the Olmec, but just some really brightly colored, almost Andy Warhol type of some very iconic uh, Latin imagery. And the Olmecs I've always admired because they seem to have been the kind of the starting point for the whole Mesoamerica of the mask.
Right.
And it's become this long history of mask up to nowadays the lucha libre. Um, and I just kind of broke it down to its simplest form. You can find statues that are almost exactly like that, but I've
Right.
simplified it even more. And it just screamed repeating patterns of
Mm-hmm.
just doing it over and over and over again. And that's what kind of inspired. And I threw in, it's not a true cross, but there is a cross in the painting. And it was not so much about Christianity, but just iconic, the icon,
Sure. Well,
the
I mean, symbols. I mean, they are the sort of the graphic design of our historical roots and things become
true.
symbols because of different educational levels, and they're easily accessible, they're visible, right? So, but like with the repeating pattern of the symbol in this instance, and the color scheme of it too, it has sort of a very meditative effect, which I find all of your work has a meditative effect. And I'm curious, do you meditate, or is your practice your meditation? What's your relationship to that?
I do meditate every morning. In fact, I've got a commission that I'm working on that came from a meditation. It came to me during the
Ah,
meditation, so that was very nice because I don't like doing commissions because
it's the
then
pressure, right? It's like
well,
you feel like you're derailed from your joy and what it is you want to be
right.
doing to pay the man, or no, I mean I'm over
It,
exaggerating because they're always it's great to have commissions, obviously, because it supports the studio, but it's also kind of like, woo,
but it takes you out of yourself. Yes.
yeah,
Then
and it takes you out of your frame, yeah,
that person is there too, and you're just like, oh, are they going to like it? Are they going to like it? Um,
right,
so
yeah,
that
that
usually
little
leads
voice.
me, yeah, that usually leads me to do about 10 different studies going, maybe one of these will work. But so in the color, I'm a big color freak. I
Mm-hmm,
absolutely love color. And I think it was Kandinsky that talked about the spirituality of color and
mm-hmm,
design. And I mean, his earlier work was, I don't want to say Sunday painter, but and then all of a sudden something clicked in him and he did this beautiful graphic, but he used a lot of muted tones. And
mm-hmm.
you know me, I'm not very muted.
No, I mean, you even have some pants that I covet, like, and then whenever I see you wearing them in social media, I'm like, give me the pants because they're so bright and colorful and a nice pattern and everything. I mean, you fit in
Well,
very well to Mexico.
I'll send you a photo from we were at a party when we were in Merida in December. and six of us had really brightly colored pants on, and we did a shot looking down at the
Group portrait.
pants. I'll send it to you. But yeah, that
You
was,
do have you
go
do have
ahead.
a home in Merida, right?
No, no,
No, okay, okay,
I
but
would
you
love
do have a
to.
lot of friends.
It's too hot for my husband.
Ah, okay.
It's just too hot. When I win the lottery, I will probably do a studio down there.
Nice.
I love Merida, but it
And
is
sorry,
ungodly hot.
I sidetracked a little bit from the conversation about the symbolism of Olmec. I
I'll
apologize,
be the
but
same. But that's, the Omax, and I do owe it to you and the residency. That just kind of sparked out of that. And then I showed you a couple of the individual ones that were being done. That's turned into oh, how do you say wall? Muros in
Moros,
Spanish? Moros.
Morales,
Moros de Olmec. And
right?
it is, it's either 12 or 16 um, 24 by 16 canvases.
Uh huh.
It's going to be very Andy Warholian. They're all
Okay.
going to be different. It's going to be a grid just hung
Oh, and
together.
so you're taking these canvases as sort of like tiles, and then like the piece behind you, but at a
Like that.
larger
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Wow. And how big is
And
that going to be?
I think it's going to end up being about 8 by 6 feet,
Wow. Nice. Oh, I can only
but it can
imagine.
be, it can be reconfigured.
Of course. Right.
It can be as
Oh,
big. Yeah.
see, now you're giving the art experience, and then you're allowing the buyer to take it to their home and interact. I mean, it's the full thing, Michael. It's the full thing. And I should say,
Well,
I should say for the record, for those people listening to the podcast, that we sold the two auras in the last couple of
mhm,
weeks, and we're
yes,
presenting one of them here in the gallery because I bought one, and we're presenting the Olmec piece in clavo movimento.
excellent. Yeah, and
So,
Clavo, I've been reading up on Clavo. Um, it was interesting. We just had Basel, Miami here
mm-hmm.
a couple of months ago, and like Clavo, there is the Untitled
Right,
Art Fair,
right, right,
and it was the hit of Basel this year. It was the big everybody, all the art critics, everything. Of course, art fairs are difficult because um, not a whole lot gets sold. Usually, it's sold before it even gets to the art fair. But
right. Which is what we're just talking about.
yeah, and also it's a big party for the people that are in that whole art fair scene. But
Right, right.
that
I
aside,
mean,
but
I think
it's
the larger art fairs definitely sell more prior to those sort of standard,
yeah,
the blue chip markets and things like that. Here we have Zona Mako. But if you really want to understand what's happening within different communities in contemporary art, emerging art, then you really need to expand your circle outside of the major art fairs and look for those. And there are a lot of them. I mean, there's no shortage in Miami and Mexico. I mean, there's Salon Acme is right behind the gallery here. Kipo is a few blocks away. Material is a few blocks away. And of course, Plavo will be a few blocks away as well. So just within this little tiny area, like a 5 block radius, there's, already all these art fairs. And they all have their own different flavors, and they bring in different types of people from, so like a diversity of people. So
yes,
um, that's why
and
your work is
curators.
such a obvious choice for presenting in this format, especially when there's an international market coming into Mexico City. It's sort of the one time of year that the market is as robust as it is. So I know they're going to absorb your work and clamor for more. We're gonna need to do an order form for Michael. Oh, these commissions, gente comisiones, pero
One can
necesito
hope.
pagar.
One can
Right,
hope.
right, exactly, right.
The other great thing about these smaller, not the
Huge
big
pieces,
press
yeah.
ones, is curators. curators have a tendency to be going to these smaller ones because they are looking for what's next.
Hmm.
The larger art fair has people that are happening for maybe at best the next year or two.
Hmm.
Some only last 6 months, and so it's the art fairs is a difficult thing, but it sure looks good on your CV list.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm excited to present the work again. I wish you could be here in Mexico City for this, but you've been here. Well, you were just here in June, so
Yeah,
June, right? Yeah. For the gallery itself, you were in Merida for Christmas. So you make it here quite often. I'm super excited to present the work. I know that it's going to be well received, and I hope we continue to develop new work and things for the audience. Your work gets so much attention. Like it always, it does capture an essence within the Mexican culture, and people are always surprised to find out that a gringo did the artwork.
I know. You know, and I worry about appropriation, but then I don't worry about it. Um,
I
it's
mean,
I'm not really
let's just
appropriating.
talk briefly about that idea because I'm sure
Okay.
it's probably come up a little bit in people's minds. Talk to me about your relationship to that and the word appropriation in
Well,
that
it's just,
manner.
yeah, it's just, I've traveled in Mexico since I was a little kid.
Hmm.
Mexico is a part of my life. That's why I'm kind of like, it's not, it's an inspiration. I'm not copying exactly
Right.
um, things that have been done. Of course, there's nothing new under the sun, but it's like we were saying symbols. There's so many symbols that Mesoamerica has that were also in early Europe, in Greece, in Asia. There's the
Hmm.
swastika is a great example. It ended up everywhere
Right.
and thousands of years ago.
Right.
So
And then it was
it's
co-opted by
right.
a
Well, they changed
movement.
the direction. They changed the
Right.
direction. But it's so it's like my science-based theory with painting. I like to break things down, and when you get break reality down, it's just a lot of electrons and it's a lot of dots.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
so that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. And also, most everything that's done is pretty universal.
Hmm.
So I don't worry about being accused of appropriation because that's not really what I'm doing.
Right.
Um, but
Yeah. But I do appreciate the sort of sense of it's a very modern spiritual perspective. Uh, the way in this day and age we're able to pull so many references together from all over the world and create an individual experience. The process of painting it is meditative. The process of observing the paintings are meditative. So I think that that is more appealing than the narrative of patriarchal religion and these are the rules and you must not break these and stuff. So kudos to you um, for continuing the work. Do you have any other shows coming up in the next 5 or 6 months?
I've got too many.
So many. Oh.
Yeah. The thing that kills me, I don't sell a lot, but I get into a lot of shows. But
Mm.
one exciting thing I got coming up,
We'll cut
um,
that part out. We don't sell a lot. That's not true.
well, yeah, um, as much as I wish.
But yeah, well, yeah.
Well, because the thing is, and every artist can tell you this, shows are expensive,
Oh, yes, they are. Yeah,
personally,
super.
for the artist. And but I've got a couple of shows coming up exactly in the next 2 months. One clears out. You can see I've got paintings stacked all over my studio. I've got so many paintings, and this one is in an office building. And what they do is they turn it over to an artist so I can stick about 20 paintings in there. So I'm very excited about that. And that'll be for 2 months. I'm getting into a gallery in Provincetown, but it's gonna start small. So but once I'm in, I'm in.
And that'll be
And
for
then
summer, or Provincetown will be summer, or
that will be probably late summer, early fall.
okay.
And then next spring, I've got a solo show at the Wilson Art Center, and that is going to be about 50 paintings.
And that's in North Carolina, or
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half away from here. It's becoming like the Marfa, Texas of North Carolina.
oh, okay. Wow.
There's a
Interesting.
lot of artists there, and the art center is huge, huge walls. In fact, I'm redoing this, the one
At a
behind me,
larger scale.
uh, 20 feet by 8 feet.
Oh, so you just a little bit of work to do.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Yes.
Everybody stop emailing him, stop calling him. He's focused.
I got a year to do it. So
Oh,
that's
okay,
good.
okay, okay. All right,
Well,
all right.
I'm retired now, so studio time now is like 6 to 8 hours a day,
Lovely.
pretty much 7 days a week.
Much to the chagrin of your partner.
Yeah, it's fine. He doesn't think I'm doing anything.
Right. Well, thank you again for making the time to talk to us, and invite everybody to check out the Euro Queer Art podcast, which we're recording now, our magazine, which you can download for free at artgallerystudios.com, the digital version, or you can get a print version through our website as well. And we hope to see everyone during Semana de Arte, February 9th through the 11th, here in the gallery, Clavo Moviamento, and at Pharmacia International.